and I never said this anywhere on any podcast. So we're getting like premises here for your audience.
Cristian, thank you very much for being on the show. It's really an honor to have you here after so many months trying to set this up. It's an honor to have you here.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
So, Cristian, in one of your videos, I heard you say something that really stood out and something that really had me thinking because, well, I'm just going to get straight into it. In one of your videos, you were speaking about the credit, I guess, possibilities that we have in this country. And I'm from Venezuela. I know that getting credit over there is not so easy as it used to be many years ago. And you said the following: there is nowhere in the world where you have what we have in the States. And you were speaking about credit and the possibilities that you have with credit. Can you elaborate on that?
For sure, man. I mean, first, thank you so much. I see that you're ready. You got notes there. You look like Patrick Beck-David right now. So I respect that a lot. And yes, that's something that I said on every single podcast that I go to and everybody that I speak to, so they understand the benefit that they have just by living in the States. Because I lived in Thailand for a while, then I went to Cambodia, I've been in Europe, been to 16 countries so far. And in none of those 16 countries, not even Canada, you have what we have in the States. Like the possibility of you right now at 23 going ahead and opening an LLC today in the States, of course, here in Florida, and then in the next week being able to go ahead and get access to $50,000, $100,000, $150,000, you won't have that anywhere else. Especially not a 23-year-old kid who's just starting out. A brand new business, you can open it today, and in a week, you can get access to $50,000, $100,000, $150,000. So you don't have that anywhere else. That's why I always speak about that.
Okay, so the numbers you're mentioning right now, they're kind of big numbers, especially for a 23-year-old kid that just started a business. Maybe they don't have no clue with what goes on in a business. They don't know anything about sales or marketing or building a team. How does your business do what you do for clients? How do you guys go about that process?
So what you said right now remind me of when I got my first business credit card. So right now, yes, 50, 100 sound like a huge numbers, but for us, it sounds like very little. We're actually looking for ways so we can get you access to more, $500,000, $1 million, right?
Wow.
When I first started, my first business credit card ever was $35,000. And for me, that was like huge. Like I just applied for one and that's it. I was like, no, I'm good. I don't need more than this.
Was it because you did a process before you applied for that credit card, or they just gave it to you like that? Like, tell me,
it
how did that happen?
It wasn't that easy, right? First thing first, I had to build my personal credit because back in the day, I mean, I just had a Capital One credit card for $250. So I had to get a line of credit from my mom's side, right? She added me as an authorized user. Then I got a card with Chase. I got a card with Amex. And after that, I opened a brand new business, Area World LLC, which is one of my big businesses. And after that, I went ahead and went to Chase and applied for a business credit card. It was denied at the beginning. And then I called. I was in the phone with like 5 different people, like put me on with the representative XYZ. And they approved it at the end of the day for $35,000. Wow. So for me, I was mind blowing at 0% interest rate. Wow. And this was for in 2018, 2019.
Okay, so take me back for a second. Why did you start secured funding? Like, was it someone that spoke to you about it, or was it just an idea? Like, tell me a little bit about that.
So secured funding started because we needed the money. Just being very straight up with you, right? We were doing e-commerce before. We were running in stores. And we were doing good with the stores, but it got to the point where the stores were being shut down, meaning that Amazon and Walmart were kind of shutting down the stores. So we were not as profitable as we were before. And you need to pay rent, you need to cover the bills. And we already had the skill set of, okay, we know how to go ahead, open an LLC, and get access to capital. We've been doing it for 5 years. So why not turn this into a legitimate business where we not only do it for our clients, that we'll do it with when they open a store, but we can actually do it for people directly, for any type of business. You have a trucking company, you have a cleaning services. We can actually go ahead and open a brand new LLC or use your LLC and get you access to capital. So it all started because we needed to make more money, right? And where we had the skill set, we just hadn't turned it into a business yet. So about 2 years ago, I was like, shit, I'm just going to turn this into a legitimate business where we straight just go to get people capital. But we've been doing it for over 5 years.
Okay, so when was that turning point? Because I mean, you had another e-commerce business. What was that turning point that made you think, okay, I'm gonna stop doing this e-commerce and I'm gonna start doing secured funding? Like, what made that happen?
E-commerce was not as profitable, right? And we're looking for another way. Then NFTs came around, right? I made a bunch of money with NFTs, and how I bought a lot of the NFTs was with business credit.
What's a bunch of money?
A bunch of money, I'm saying in a single month over 60K. Right, profit. And back then, I mean, I'd never done those numbers before. So for me, that was mind blowing. I remember it was January, because I know we were skiing every year. We go skiing to Colorado, and on that trip, I broke that 60K profits on the first like 15 days of the month.
Wow!
And I was just like mind blowing. So I was like, all right, I did this with business credit, because you can actually go in the app that I was buying the NFTs and pay with a credit card. So I can coach other people on how to do this. So my first getting access to capital for people was not directly into a business. It was me mentoring you how to buy NFTs, but I will get you the capital as well to buy the NFTs. So I was getting access to people, I don't know, like 50K. And then I would tell you, okay, like you're going to do the following portfolio of NFTs. So kind of where we were doing consulting, I would consult people on what NFTs to buy with the business credit cards.
Wow.
So I'll be like, okay, buy 10, fully licensed Batman's NFTs on Vivi, or go to XYZ marketplace and buy these NFTs. And I was just charging for the full service of me consulting you. Now I'm charging way more than that. And I still have clients from when I first started that, I'm glad I got access to capital with you back then, because I got the capital plus the NFT portfolio. And now I'm charging like 4 times that, right? Because we understood the value, but it took starting there to understand the full value that we bring to the table.
When you walk me through that process, I guess that's kind of nerve-wracking a little bit. That's a big risk that you have to take. I mean, getting credit and then going ahead and buying NFTs, that's kind of risky. Let's say for someone that's watching this and you want to emphasize the importance of risk-taking as an entrepreneur, maybe not to that extent that you're talking about, but taking on risk as an entrepreneur, if you really want to be successful, what would you tell to that person watching this?
Oh, man. All right, we're going to be here for a little bit. So risk taking has been huge for me. I wouldn't be here without taking a risk. You wouldn't be sitting here without taking a risk. Am I right?
Yeah.
I don't know if you can see here on my hand. He says, at its longest, life is brief. Like, there's a big audio by Jim Rohn. I told you before that I listened to it like 57 times. It's called Take Charge of Your Life. And there's a part there that he goes deep down into, like, life is risky. Opening a business is risky, right? Getting into a marriage is risky. Everything is risky, right? So at the end of the day, it depends how well or how far off do you really want to go into fulfilling your dreams and what it is that you want to do. Like, how far are you willing to go for it? Because the risk is going to bring a reward. Like me sacrificing, 2 hours, 3 hours to make the podcast happen with you, there's going to be a reward that's going to come from that. Could be risky. Maybe we do a podcast, nothing happens, and maybe our car blows up outside. Like, there is risk on everything you do. But if the possible reward is going to be bigger than the risk, then you should always take it. Like, just, logging in the office. I was scared of doing it. I had a good friend of mine who gave me a huge push of like, yo, let's just do it, bro. So sometimes it's hard to take on risk. Either you're going to take it on your own, or somebody who cares about you is going to help you realize that you need to take it on your own and push you. But without the risk, there is no reward.
Wow.
This is literally how it works. There's a cause, there's an effect. There's good and there's the bad. There's no risk, there's no reward. If there wasn't a risk, you wouldn't call it rewarding, because you didn't take a risk to get there. Pretty much.
It's powerful.
Yeah.
It's very important to have that third party, that person trying to push you to take that risk. Maybe if you're scared of taking that risk. Can you give me some other examples of some risks that you've taken that maybe you haven't told anyone about and you were like really scared about?
Oh man, I had so many, like my entire life, I live at risk almost every day. Like, I'm not lying to you. You go to my car now, you open it, I think I have like 5 miles worth of gas. Right, so I live in the edge almost every day. I'm not lying to you. You can't go open my car, you'll see like 5 miles. So I take a lot of risk. I don't recommend people do that, because the more risk you take, the more weight you have to be able to carry on your shoulder, right? And not everybody can carry a certain amount of weight, right? Like I took a risk, 4 years ago. When I was 21, I retired my mom. I was like, I'll pay for everything for you. You don't have to work a single day of your life. I got the house, I got the cars, I got the light, I got the bills, everything, right? I was 21, so it's been 4 years since then. That's a huge risk, right? Because now I cannot say, hey, you got to go back to work. I cannot pay rent this month, right? And sometimes it is tight and it's tough, and you're like, fuck, I shouldn't really be paying for rent as well for my mom now. Like, my bills are already tight, X, Y, Z. So that's a huge risk that you have to be able to carry on your shoulders.
Yeah.
And not everybody's willing and able to carry a weight like that. I don't know. And like that, there's meaningful examples that I could give you. Moving out to Brickell, right? I'm going from spending maybe like 10K a month to now I have to spend over 15 just because I moved out, right? I have to keep my bills, my mom's bills, and then I have to add out now more bills for myself.
Yeah.
Right? And then when I went from spending 15K a month to spending 25, it's another big risk, but it will take me to a next level, right? And I know once I moved out to like a different house where there's the ocean or XYZ, and my expenses go from 25K a month to, I don't know, 35, there's another risk that I'm taking, but each one of those steps brings a bigger reward, right? So if you ask me, every day I'm taking some type of risk. Just being here, opening up the office, running X amount of money on ads a month, it's all risky. But if you don't risk it, nothing's gonna happen, bro. I can tell you that much.
I have so many things I want to ask you from what you said right now.
Let's go.
I guess number one, being 21. How many 21-year-olds think about retiring their moms at 21, especially when you're not like a multi-millionaire? Because I'm sure that you weren't a multi-millionaire at 21. So first of all, like, how did that even come about in your head about retiring your mom at 21? I'm sure she's very happy about it, but like, how did you think about that? And I also want to ask you, do you think that like getting out of your comfort zone like that, like, all right, you know what, I'm just gonna keep my expenses low for this month, do you think that pushes you to be better? Like, just, okay, listen, I'm gonna move out, I'm gonna live in Brickell, I'm gonna pay $4,000 a month in rent, something that I wasn't paying before. Do you think getting out of your comfort zone like that makes you look more for growth and for opportunities, and really like not just be satisfied with what you're doing, but something that really pushes you to just be better and grow the business even more?
Hey, I'm trying to catch up on the main question there. There's a few questions on one questions. But first thing first, if you don't do something different, nothing's going to change. Like, people say that. Like, insanity is somebody who keeps doing the same thing, expecting a different outcome.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you're spending right now, I don't know, you spend 4K a month, all your expenses together, and your income right now is 6K a month, and you live in a house, you're in Westchester, you have your corporate job, that is what you do. That's what you're doing daily, every single day, right? So nothing is changing. Maybe you're expecting to open your own firm, like consulting firm, or you want to get a different car, or you want to get your own office, but nothing is changing. You still have the same corporate job, you live in the same place, you have the same expenses. Nothing is still not changing, right? So do you think things are going to change? Most likely not. You're going to get to the outcome that you want to get to? Most likely not. So if you want things to change, you got to start changing things on what it is that you're doing currently, right? So yeah, I wanted to get to my first 25K month, right? I was not even spending 10K. How was I going to get there? So to get to my first 25K month, I had to increase my expenses, right?
What do you mean by that? Expenses in what?
On every single area. So for example, like my biggest move was moving to Brickell. That was one of the biggest moves I ever made. Super scary, right? But it took me from, okay, I make like 15, 20K a month to my first 100K plus month, right? Because I moved there, the environment, the noise, even though I'm not like that, people love to see you grow, and people love the luxury, and fuck, you're living in Brickell, the 40th floor, and you have all this shit that now I truly take for granted because I don't even really give a fuck. But people love that, right? So it was a big noise, big jump. People see growth, and therefore you can, I don't know, when you own a business, you can sell more, right? So it took me to 20 to 100 to 100K.
Okay. So going back to the question, that's great, by the way. I completely agree with what you said right now. And I align myself with that vision as well and that way of thinking. How does a 21-year-old think about retiring his mom?
There you go. So that's the first question. Okay. So my mom has always been my why. Y stands for what hurts you. I get very emotional when I speak about my mom because we've been through a lot of things. We got here from Cuba on 2012. And since then, my mom and we have cleaned houses together,
Wow.
painted driveways, take care of like dogs, older people.
Only
it
you
was
and your mom.
only it was only my mom and I together. We went here. We went to my aunt's house, and I never said this anywhere on any podcast. We were getting like premises here for your audience. We lived in my aunt's house, and by the 4th month, she wanted us already to be paying rent. And we're like, shit, we just got here. My mom barely has a job. She's working at Dunkin' Donuts. We just brought donuts from like at night, the full night, making the donuts. So she would get home in the mornings and go clean houses. And she was just saving up. And my aunt already wanted to pay for rent. So we're like, we got to move out of here. Wow. So 4 months in this country, no car, no anything. We had to find an efficiency, move out together. And that was the first of 5-6 efficiencies that we jump into before we actually find a place that we stayed at for more than a year. So all those things before she ever got a car was us doing moving in freaking Sedano carts because we were on Burr and 87th. So we were moving around shit in Sedano carts. Wow. And I saw all that, which not a lot of people see. And I went through all that when I was like 15 or 16 with my mom. 15, 16 people, what do? Just party, go around, enjoy their friends. Oh, we're doing XYZ. We're going to go ice skating.
For sure. We're
going to go play dominoes. I was like, fuck, I cannot go, bro. I had to help my mom out. We're cleaning the house tomorrow. We're doing XYZ. So when you go through that, when you're 15, when you're 16, you're growing up very fast. So now you're getting in your early 20s, and you're already thinking as if you're in your 30s or almost 40. Sometimes I feel like I'm 60 years old, right? Why? Because we went through all that together, my mom and I, which taught me a lot, right? So since I saw her struggle so much, it got to the point where I was like, okay, she's my why, and I'll make sure that whatever I do for her and because of her, because she just helped me to get me to this point. So I want to give back to her now. And she would get home, bro, fully devastated, like cleaning 2 or 3 hours a day, crashing the couch, shower in the morning, repeat the same thing. And she was the one paying for the rent. She was the one paying for cars, for phones. If I needed to get something, she would literally get it for me. Like, she did all that for me while I was going to high school and while I was not working yet. Never asked me for anything back. Never said, oh, you should go get a job, even though like I was, of course, working with her. I was helping her out. But she never demanded that, oh, you have to pay the rent and you have to pay XYZ. You know, she was like, just go to university, go to school, graduate, and I'm going to sacrifice these years. And then I freaking went to FIU for 2 semesters, everything paid for, and I get to the house one day, I'm like, I'm not going to school anymore. And she was broken, bro. I said, I'm not going to school anymore. I'm going to start my own business. I'm going to start my own thing. And I'm going to retire here in the next XYZ years. I was 18 back then. Wow. So she broke down. You know how it is until today. Not now, but things are a little different now. But until I started paying for rent and I got her a car and whatnot, she stopped saying, yeah, you should go back to school. But it was like 2 years. So you should go back to school. You should go back to school. So my biggest thing was always giving back to her, making sure that she was set and making sure that she understood that I was doing the right thing, right? And that's why I wanted to retire her because she deserved it. She's working too much. She was working too much. And I wanted to experience more before she was like 70 years old and couldn't travel. She's probably been to more countries than I've been to right now. Wow. Like, for sure. She just got back from Turkey a little while back, and she was telling me stories. Like, oh, I could barely get on the camel. I had like 4 Turkish people trying to help me get on top of the camel. So imagine most people there, I don't know, go to school. They finish when they're in their 33. If they're a doctor or something like that, it takes a couple of years to graduate. And by that time, your moms are already like 60 something, 70, have barely gotten out of Florida, barely gotten out of the States. They're not able to go on a yacht or on a jet or go to Dubai and be traveling for like hours. So what is really there for your parents if you don't do it right now? I see it with a bunch of like my old friends whose parents are super old now. They've gotten out of here to like DR or PR. That's it. Like, there's a huge world there. I don't want my mom to die before seeing all that and enjoying all that. So I was like, I got to get to work. And that's why she will do all this today.
That's powerful. Very inspiring. PR is nice though, by the way.
Yeah, PR is amazing. Ponce lo demás parqueo. That's what my boy here said. We got a Puerto Rican guy in the house.
So, Christian, take me back to when you were 15, 16, and you were
Oof.
watching your mom, I mean, just putting hours and hours in Dunkin' Donuts and etc. How was that making you feel?
Man, you were getting the best podcast here ever. And I talked about this. It's always business, pretty much. You're getting a lot of good content here. I actually got to watch it a few times. Back when I was 15, 16. So I was 14 when I got here from Cuba. 15, 16 was like our first 2 years. And I didn't only watch my mom. I was with her at every single like house that she would clean. Like, I wasn't cleaning the full day because I would go to school and then come back and clean in the afternoon, except the weekends. So I pretty much lived the life that she was living, right? And it was tough getting to understand a brand new country, brand new language. People had no idea who they were. People think it's hard to come here and then you listen to everybody speaking in English, but that's not the hard part. There's people here from Colombia, Venezuela, like all type of places that we're not used to growing up in Cuba. All you see in Cuba is Cuba.
Mm-hmm.
You don't meet anyone else. Not maybe like a tourist, but people that live there is not like a mixed community like here in Miami. So when we got here, we're cleaning a lot of houses for Colombians, people in Venezuela as well, people from multiple nationalities, and their custom and culture is very different.
Mm-hmm.
So they would treat us in certain ways that I didn't like. So it was hard for me to go through that. Like, you know, like they are the boss and you're there to work for them, and they would say random shit to my mom that I didn't like and to me as well. And what the fuck are you gonna do, right? You don't have a car, you don't have anything. You're trying to make some money. They're giving you the job, so I was like, I may as well just shut my mouth up and be grateful. And one day come back here and let her know what we're all about. And that's kind of what we're doing right now. Like a lot of people that we'll clean houses for right now, we have brought them on into businesses that I've done and things like that. But at the beginning, it was rough. It was rough going through that, getting used to a brand new community, brand new cultures, and people treating us like we were just like, okay, this poor people, let's call it what it is. These poor people are working for me, and they got to do exactly what we're telling them to do. Like, literally, even once, my mom was accused of stealing a ring from a rich lady's house. She had to go to one of those places where you put like your hand and see if you're lying or not.
Wow.
Like, I know my mom would never do that. Like, she was called in the middle of the night. Oh, you have to come here, this and that.
Like a lie detector test?
Bro, imagine my mom was freaking out. She was like, man, I go to jail for something that I didn't do. And then they found out it was like the kid of the person that stole the ring and shit like that. My mom, she's like in her 50s, just got here from a different country. Don't have a residency yet, and she's being accused of stealing. Like, we're like, oh, we're gonna be deported here or something. Wow. So like that, a bunch of different things that I can go through that we went to in that period of time, but just worked very hard. Everything that you can think of, we probably did it.
Wow. We
did handyman as well. I was a handyman for like 6 months. I went to a house in one of the islands. I think it was Venetian Island. And when I get to a house, I was like, fuck, I built a fence. I built a little fence with the handyman contract that I would work for. So yeah, I've been around, man. A lot of work, both for my moments and now my end as well.
A lot of people, I mean, after going through those experiences where you had to clean other people's homes and being spoken to in, I guess, trying to make you less than what you actually are. A lot of people would have used that as an excuse, but it seems like you used it as fuel. Is that fair to say?
Oh, yeah. Oh, you bet. And also, you learn a lot. You got to look at the positive, too, because we saw things that we've never seen before. Like, we were cleaning houses for people that were millionaires. So you see how they live, the parties that they do, who comes to the parties, how they treat the family, how they live their lives, the cars they drive, what they eat. Like, my mom was cooking some delicious things. Like, I never tried before because she was learning how to cook from these people that were rich. And they would do, like, pastas in different ways and things like that. So you learn a lot. You become very aware of things that you didn't know before. So there's a good side to it as well. But you always got to focus on the good, bro. You cannot just be, okay, like they treated me like shit. No, I treated you like shit because now I understand that when you're there, you're literally working for them.
Yeah.
I have a billionaire friend. And whenever we go to his house, no matter what we do, he always has people there who are serving all of us, all his friends.
A billionaire or millionaire?
Billionaire.
With a B?
Yeah, with a B. And whenever we go there, like, there's people serving us. Like, for the simplest things. We go to play dominoes. And there's, like 3 servers. What do you guys want? Coffee, cigars, XYZ.
Wow.
So you understand now that it's not just them that were like rude to you. Like, no, they were paying you to literally get some work done, and you got to do what it is that you're getting paid for.
Yep.
It just takes, it's a hard road to get there.
So before we started the podcast, we were talking about your business and when you started the business, and you said something to me. You said, I started my business about 5-6 years ago, but I've always been selling stuff. What was that turning point where, I mean, you were working for an employer and then you started selling things on your own and you really started your entrepreneurial journey? When was that moment?
Okay, so since I was little, I would always sell things. There's I don't know, some people are born with it. I've always been very, very social. I'm like a people person. So no matter who you are, like, I'll give you a hug. Come here, give me a kiss, bro. Come on. Hug it out. So I always have that in me, and I guess my family saw it, my grandpa saw it. And then my aunt was here in the States, so she was saying things to my grandpa from the States. And we're living in Cuba, so whatever he didn't want, he would give it to me for me to sell it.
Wow.
And I was a little kid. I would literally put like a little mat in the floor in the front of the street in front of our house in Cuba. And everybody that passed by, I was, estoy vendiendo esto aquí. I'm selling this, XYZ, like toothpaste, clothing, racers, whatever my grandpa didn't want, basically. Right? It was brand new from the States. I would sell it there. Then I would give my grandpa whatever he wanted for it, and I would keep the profits. Avocados, that would be like my main selling thing. Whenever there was avocado season in Cuba, I would go to the avocado trees, take down all the avocados, and then resell them. So I've been doing it since I was little. I just got here, and since you get here, they tell you, hey, Papalito habla, you have to go to school, you have to get a degree, you have to get a diploma. So I was like, fuck, I'm not dumb. I'm pretty smart. So if I go to school, I'm doing my best, and I'll try to get one of those diplomas. Apparently, that's the way to do it here. And that was my plan until my first 2 semesters at FIU. I went to school, did everything great for high school, graduated, was playing in the band, I was getting paid to go to school. And then I decided to drop out once I saw that the diploma wasn't really the way out, and that it would take me a lot longer to make a lot less money, and it would take me longer to retire my mom. So it didn't make sense for me. The person who was teaching me something at FIU, the professor, it was making less than what I wanted to make. I was like, I'm not earning shit from you. Like, you're making $80K a year. I want to make that a month. Yeah. Right? How are you gonna teach me how to do that? Make sense? So that's why I decided to get into doing my own business. But I started since I was young. Then I saw that. I saw the potential, like, you got to start your own thing. And that was my turning point. This is where I asked you. When I saw the people who were teaching me, they were not having the results that I wanted to have in my life. So that's when I decided, okay, never mind. I'm going to go and open my own thing. And then I saw an opportunity. I opened my eyes. It was network marketing, back in the date. It's the first time that I see somebody making like 25K a month or 10K. No, the 10K a month was huge for me. That was my goal forever. And I had never seen that before in my family. Like, I don't know, the person that was making the most money in my family was probably making like 3K a month or something like that, right?
So big jump.
Huge jump. So when I saw someone my age that was making like 10 years a month, I was like, Scotty, what's up, bro? What do you do, right? And then that world of network marketing showed me more people like that who are making a hell lot of money at a pretty young age, going to events and speaking from audiences. I was like, I love this shit. I love it. So we started there. Doing our network marketing career, and it brought us here today, believe it or not. Like, thanks to that network marketing, we're here today. I say it on every single podcast. I'm not in any network marketing company at the moment, but we were in IAM, which is a company for about 1.5 years. We built there, we met some amazing people, and until today, we still like do business with those people. And everything that we are today is due to what we learned back then.
So you started your sales career in Cuba, and I mean there's a lot of very successful people that say that sales is the most important skill if you want to become successful. Do you kind of agree with that?
I do and I don't.
Okay, which other skills? I want you to give me a response on that, and I also want you to tell me which skills you think are important to become successful.
People. It's not about sales, it's about people. So, for example, right now I'm selling more than ever. Like, I just want to actually get into a nitty-gritty of, like, pushing the sell, which I would never do before. I would just leverage who I am, how I am with people, and close people like that. But now I'm actually closing. Like, I'm pushing all sales strategies out there, all right?
You're pushing, or you're not pushing?
Now I am.
Okay.
Yeah, now I am. Why? Because it's called leads and whatnot, But what I think is bigger than all that is people.
Mm.
Like knowing how humans work, knowing human behavior, knowing who you are, what you can bring to the table for them. Especially just focus on people and you will get the sale closed. I just get on a call with someone and I'll make them feel like they're my brother in like 10 minutes. Like whatever ice there is, I'll break it in the first 10 minutes. That's not selling. That's you're relating to someone, being present in the call. Like, I don't know, it takes 30 minutes to an hour, right, to do that. But if you do that, you're 30% closer to a sale than if you're just pushing a sale. Everybody's selling nowadays.
Yes.
I'm sure I have a bunch of competitors. They have a sales floor or they're just calling people and doing and saying all these things that I see, I don't know, on Grant Cardone's training.
Yeah.
Right? Hey, how you doing today? Oh, my God, no way. Oh, your dog that I really... No, you have to be as personal as possible with the people that get in the calls.
I agree with that.
Like,
100%.
really, like give yourself out. Like, if I'm getting in a call with someone who's, I don't know, they want to retire the mom, I'll tell my story. I'm getting in a call with someone who's going through, like, heavy struggles or share my heavy struggles. I'm very open about, like, most of the struggles that I've been to. So I'll share that with them, and they'll be like, shit, God damn, I love you, you know? Like, you make them relate to you as fast as possible. I think that's way more important than just selling and knowing the right phrases and the right strategies. And if they say no, how do you kind of argue that? Just focus on what you can bring to the table. Focus on related to them. Focus on actually making them feel like you're part of the family and you genuinely want to help them out. And that's going to set the difference. You top that with a little bit of sales. It's very powerful.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
And that's, I mean, I just a great way to think about it. Which other skills do you think are massive to really becoming successful?
People is one. Being outgoing, right? I don't know if that's necessarily a skill, right? Because I do believe it is because you can learn it, right? Like being outgoing. A lot of people in the past tell me, yeah, this works for you because you're very outgoing and you say hi to everybody. No, I know people that were very introvert and they become extrovert.
Yeah.
Right? You just need a big enough why. Like I said a little while back, why stands for what hurts you the most. If you have something that really hurts, you will make the change. Like, the pain of it staying the same will never change until it is big enough that you will want to change. Okay? So if you have the big enough pain, I think you will learn anything. So if you know that being outgoing and being an extrovert is a good skill that it will help you in business to be successful, you must want to learn it. It's not hard, man. I go everywhere and just be nice to people. Like, make people, if you make everyone out there feel like they're the most important person in the room, every single where you go, people will love you. That's what I do, bro. Wherever I go, I'll make you feel like you're the most important person in the room. No matter who you are. If I'm with Joseph in a room, I'll make him feel like he's the most important person there.
Joseph is very important.
He is. We wouldn't be recording here. We wouldn't be here, man.
Yes.
Just do that. Practice that. Like, whenever you go, like, praise people. Yeah, don't be kissing ass. You know, just be you.
Be genuine about it.
But be genuine about it. Like, give people a pat on the back. Like, bro, you're doing really good. It's beautiful here.
That's
XYZ.
That's worth gold. To anyone that's watching this, that's worth gold, literally.
Yeah, bro. A lot of people just want to talk about themselves.
Yeah.
I don't want to. The only place where I talk about myself is when I'm in a podcast or when Joseph asking me questions and we're shooting for content or something like that. If not, I want to know about people.
I'm like that too. I can agree with what you're saying right now. A couple of minutes ago, you mentioned
Woo!
marketing.
Let's go. Excited.
A couple of minutes ago, you mentioned ad spend with marketing. How much are you spending a month?
Right now, I'm spending about 4K.
4K a month.
4K a month, yeah.
And is that something that you're handling yourself, or is that something you hired someone to do? Walk me through
I have a team. They take care of everything automations wise on CRMs.
Okay.
And they also take care of the ad part of things.
Okay. So when you started, I guess, your business journey, was the marketing something that you handled yourself, or you always hired a third party?
Oh, myself, man. Myself. Okay. It was only last year that we started growing and scaling. And I was like, okay, maybe it's time to, like hire a marketing team or somebody that does video for me. Because I would do the videos.
Okay.
I would edit the videos. I would post the videos. Like, I would do everything. If you go to my Instagram, I'm very open. You can see, like, I don't know, it's going to be like 1,500 posts soon.
Wow.
if you scroll down, you can see the videos from like 2016 or something, right? When I started posting on Instagram.
And that was you.
And yeah, it's all me. Like all those videos is literally just me. Everything that you're gonna see there, all the edits, everything that you see. Until we brought Joseph on board, and I was like, bro, you can make a business out of this. Let's start with me. Let's see how it goes. And we started with my page, with my Instagram. Now he has over 7 clients that he's working with, right, Joseph? Yeah, at least 7 clients that he's working with. It's freaking 17, and he's killing it. So now he's like part of the team, and we're building a bigger team. But it started just me, like editing videos of myself and posting and talking to people.
Wow.
And I didn't care how it looked. I didn't care how the presentation was. I just put stuff out.
Okay, so I guess before I ask you this question, you started marketing when you like it was doing it. You were doing it.
Yeah.
You didn't hire someone else to do it. I guess that's a skill that you left out when I asked you about the skills. Marketing is huge. If you don't know how to market a business,
yes.
If you don't know how to market a business, you're not gonna make any money.
That is huge.
Especially nowadays with everything being digital, everyone's on their phone. It's extremely important to, I guess, try to advertise on Meta, Instagram, Facebook. How did you learn marketing?
I think marketing is one of the things that right now I'm learning the most.
Okay.
Because marketing has several phases to it. Like you can be good with the camera. Like I can just sit in front of a camera and talk. I have no problem with that. But then marketing, there's a part of it that involves making some noise as well. And that's a part that I'm not the best at, right? One of my business partners, he calls it make a fire with a little spark, right? Which is necessary when you're building a business, right? Like this podcast right now. Like to market it, or for people who are like huge marketers, they'll be recording like, yo, I'm here with like Gio and this and that. We're going to kill it, and like follow Gio, and they make a big noise out of anything. I'm working more on that. Like I have like in the past, like huge successes, huge wins. I don't like making big noise about it, right? Like we were locked in the office, and maybe before I wouldn't really like say anything about it. I was like, yeah, we're locked in the office. Let's get to work, you know. Let's not be making too much noise. Just get to work. We need to make money. There's a lot of people out there making a lot of noise, or making $0.
Yes.
I focus more on like I don't really give a fuck about making the noise. I just want to get on the phones, just close clients. Let's fulfill clients. Let's work. So now I'm learning more of like, no, it's also good to make a little noise.
Yeah.
Right? We just got a brand new office, right? We're going to do an opening day. It makes even more noise. But I think that I'm learning as I go to, which is another part of marketing. Like you need to be, not just love your product and be sold on it, because I am, but you need to be open of sharing a lot of your wins as well, a lot of your successes, and make it as big of a deal as possible. Because today we are on an attention society, and attention is going to bring money no matter what. So anyways, if you're hard for me, right, it's good to post pictures with like luxury and numbers, and people love to see like all these things going on. If you go to my Instagram, I haven't posted, I don't know, I probably post a picture a month of my balcony view, which is amazing. I think you replied to, yo, fire view or something like that. Just not in it. I know friends who are into like business as well. They live in Brickell. Every morning they post a picture of the view. Hey, here in Brickell, XYZ, or this restaurant. I don't like that. So I'm learning more about that, about making bigger noises with smaller things, even the more minus things. Like I'm making a big noise about it. Now we got the chairs for the office. I was like, yeah, let's post this. Like have people see what we were before and where we are now. Now like we're getting chairs, where there's progress going on. Before I wouldn't have posted that. No, just put the chairs on. Let's work. You know, let's get to work. Let's run meetings here. But no. Let me take a minute here. Let me post some pictures on Instagram. Let me show people what it is that we're doing, because the more engaged we can get the people, the better, right? And engagement means sometimes we gotta be a little bit outspoken as well, and say X, Y, Z things, and show things that maybe you didn't want to show. Yeah. And that's at the end of the day gonna bring more clients. It's a key piece of marketing.
Which I guess that's kind of like the part of marketing I was speaking about. I mean, when you own a business, you want to do business things that really move the needle forward. Things that are going to generate income for the business, if that makes sense. So when I was speaking to you about marketing, I was speaking more towards like the ads that you put out there to really get clients. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So no, the ad we just started doing, I want to say 5 months ago, we started running ads ever.
So 5 months ago.
Before, how are you getting clients? Were just my people who have been following me for years. Like my warm, hot audience, cold audience.
Wow.
Yeah, we didn't start running ads until, it's funny because I have some clients as well that I've mentored on how to open a business like mine, right?
Mm.
It's like a very high ticket. I don't do it for a lot of people, but people that are serious and I see potential, I show them how to build a business like mine, right?
Mm.
And then right away they ask me, all right, when do we start running ads? And like, look, I just finished a mentorship. Like I ran for over a year without running ads. I went through my warm audience, hot audience, social media, friends of my friends, referrals, and then 5 months ago we started running ads.
Wow.
So I didn't, because when you start running ads, you have to be ready and you have to be skillful enough to close anyone that comes in the pipeline.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're spending 100 to 100 bucks a day, you cannot afford to not close someone.
Yeah.
Right? So I went through all those people for free and people in my warm, hot audience, friends of my friends. So I burned whoever I was going to burn for free, right? You don't want to be burning people paying 200 bucks a month on ads.
Mm.
So yeah, I went through all that trial and tribulations first, right? I learned a lot and then I was like, all right, time to run ads. Like we need to scale out and we have been already going through all the warm and hot audience. It's been like a year. So people who were going to buy it, they're already bought. So we need new eyeballs. And then we started.
That's interesting. When we started speaking, I thought that's the way that you started getting clients from ads, but I guess not. And well, I guess this comes straight from Alex Hormozi's book. I don't know if you're familiar with Alex Hormozi.
I am familiar with him. Never read his book, but I'm familiar with him.
Okay, very good books he has.
The leads?
You should read them. Yeah,
The
$100 million leads and then $100 million offers. You should read or listen to both of them. I know you like to listen to books,
Yes,
not
sir.
really read them. But yeah, well, Alex Hormozi says that there's really only 4 ways that you can get clients.
Okay.
There's warm outreach. That's number 1. There's cold outreach. Number 2. There's also paid ads and there's posting content, which I guess you're doing all 4 of them to get clients for your business. Let's say I'm a client of yours. Walk me through the process. What do you do for me?
All right. So first thing first, I want to know who you are, bro. Like when I get on a call with the client, the first thing I ask them is, who are you? I want to share. I want to get familiar with you, right? So I just bring you on board and like, yeah, we're going to go to XYZ Bank. We're going to get you XYZ money. I don't know who you are yet. I want to dig down deep, see who you are. So okay. I'll dig down deep first.
Which is what you were mentioning before about not selling, but really understanding people.
Yes. There you go. I just do it natural. Like it's just who I am.
That's the best way to do it.
Yeah. I just do it naturally whenever they get on a call. Even if they're already a close client. Let's say the Jose or Chris or another sales person in the team, they close a client and the client's ready to be fulfilled with, I'm doing fulfillment now with another fulfillment team. Whenever they get there, I want to know who they are. They're already closed. They're already paid to get started. I still want to know who they are.
Oh, okay, because
like,
they have to pay like for a consultation before they get on the phone?
Correct. So you pay a small fee up front, right?
Okay.
Once you're already becoming a client with us, and then at the end you paid a percentage based on the amount that we get you.
Okay.
But after you're done with the sales team, I say that you get on a call with me now. I close you. You become a client with us. Now I'll put you in contact with my fulfillment team, right? So you're gonna have direct access to my fulfillment team, 24/7, all days a week. We don't do like 1-800 numbers. It's literally you have a person's number there that is taking care of you the whole time, right? So for that person who is in contact with you, I have on SOPs, first thing you got to do is familiarize with the client. Even if it's not me, you're part of a fulfillment team, you're going to call with a client, that's already a client of ours, right? You need to familiarize with them. Like get to know them. You're going to work with them for 2 to 4 weeks. You may as well have some fun and get to know who they are. Maybe there's potential business in the future. So that's the first thing we do. Put you in contact with the fulfillment team, and they start taking care of the process with you, which is going to be maximizing your personal credit, making it as best as possible, right? We got to make sure that when we go to the banks, we go for the kill. That we're not just joking around and we're going to get you a credit line of $2,000, right? You can do that right now. Probably you can go to the corner and ask for $2,000. They're going to give it to you, most likely, if you have good credit, right? When I go to the banks and do what we did for Jose, right? And before he was part of the team, he started as a client. We got the first credit card. I think he got access to like 33. I'm going to show you how to get that from 33 to, I don't know, 50K. And I showed him what to do. We got the card from 33 to 43 something, right? So imagine your first credit card for the business ever, your first business credit line. You get 43 Gs, right? That guy was mind blown. So after that, he became part of the team, and now he's here in the room with us. And there's bright things coming for him. But as part of the process where we optimize your credit, right? So we get you the most capital possible. After that, we go and open different checking accounts with multiple banks that we personally work with, and we season those accounts. So people think it's just open an account and the next day you go and apply. No, you gotta season those accounts, which I don't want to go into too much detail because that's part of our CRMs, that's part of our SOPs and of the information that people pay for. But we season those accounts. We show you what to do, what not to do. Do you open one account? Do you open two with the same bank? Is it savings? Is it checking? Is it just business? Is it a personal one, right? So we season those accounts. That way you build a relationship with the banks. Before we go ahead and ask for the capital. Mind you, I haven't even mentioned capital yet. We're working with you for 2 to 4 weeks. Those first 2 weeks is mainly building a relationship with the banks that we work with. Because right now, I just met you in person today. I don't know who you are pretty much. You come to me, you ask me for $100. I'm most likely going to say no, straight to your face. But we're doing a podcast together, probably going to do business together in the future. We'll get following on social media. I don't know, a month from now, you come to me asking for $100. I was like, sure, man, just get back to me. Just make sure that you give it back. But that's because we have built a relationship. So that's what we want to do with the banks. We want to build a relationship with them before we ask for capital. So that way, I don't go ahead and get you 10 different credit lines for 2 G's each. I go ahead and get you only 3, 4, 5 for 40, 50 G's each, right? So that's the difference between us and a lot of other companies out there. The fulfillment that we do, nobody does it like that.
That makes a lot of sense. I guess you're not asking the bank to marry you straight away. Like you're first taking them on a couple dates.
Yeah, pretty much. I like that, man. I'll take notes of that. All right, let's go.
So, let's say I want you to take me back, let's say a year, 2 years, 3 years. Can you share with us some like maybe difficult moments that you went through in your business that maybe you couldn't sleep at night, that you were really stressed out?
God damn. Yeah. 2, 3 years ago is heavy. It's a little personal though. It relates to business, but it is a little personal as well. I'll break it down for you. Oh shit. All right, here we go. So 2, 3 years ago, I think 2 years ago I was in Thailand. I think so. I was living in Thailand. My decision was just move the fuck out of here. Let's go to Thailand. Let's go live there for 6 months.
Talk about risks.
Yeah, talk about risk, pretty much. But I've had some tough times. Thailand was one of the biggest or tougher times, I want to say it. So I've lost everything twice, like literally everything. Like take a risk. I lost everything twice already. And if you see me here today, it's because we're building back up. Just different things that happen in business. We lost our main businesses, main sources of incomes. Investment go south as well. So been in positions sometimes where I'm back at zero or below zero, right? Wow. At a point in my life, I was making negative like 10 G's a month. Imagine making negative 10 G's a month. Like I'm making like zero and my expenses are 10 G's a month, pretty much. So instead of being profitable, you're in the negative every single month, right?
That's a scary place to be in.
Oh, imagine, especially when you don't have anything to back it up. There's no plan B. There's no rich family. There's no rich uncle. There's no properties from grandma, maybe to my name. There's nothing.
You have to pay your mom's rent, etc.
Correct. I had to, and I'm not asking her to pay her rent ever. So that's part of those 10 G's of the negative ones. So those have been one of the toughest moments. I've had some scary thoughts one time. The last time, the biggest time, I thought about killing myself, which I'm very open. I think I spoke to in other podcast, because maybe there's someone out there that is going through that, and they go through that same feeling of like you're sitting up in the balcony and you want to jump. That's the shit I went through.
Wow.
And
that was when the negative 10K months were happening, or
yeah,
what made that happen?
Yeah, it's a combination of a lot of things. The negative 10K a month, losing everything for the second time. I was in Thailand, 12 hours away from people here. Yeah. Everybody I care about, they were like, I don't know, on the other side of the world, pretty much. So whatever you're going through, first and first, it's hard to speak about that over the phone with someone. Luckily for me, I had good friends here and also a good friend with me there. His name is Jose Lopez, which he was there with me. And I spoke to him a little bit. It really helped me out. He got there right after everything happened. So that really helped. But imagine you lose everything. You're making negative 10 G's a month. Your mom, your sister, people you care about are on the other side of the world. Your niece who was just born, she's on the other side of the world. You haven't seen her in like X amount of time. You're trying to make something happen, so you go to Thailand thinking that that's gonna be the answer, and then you get there and sales are not going up, right? Things are not changing, you're like, fuck, I've been here for a month. Things are not really changing. I still have the expenses back home, plus the expenses here, plus what I do. I'm awake right now. People in Miami are sleeping at this time. So it was a combination of a lot of things, personal, business, life in general. And it took me to that point where, fuck, like, maybe it's not worth living anymore. Or it'll be easier if I'm just not here.
What were those days looking like? Like, what were you doing on a day to day?
When I went through that, so the big thing was mainly one day. Like, you cannot go through that for like a week, bro. You will end up doing it. So it was, I want to say, one day, the biggest day, and then of course after that you still, there's a little smoke that still like comes back after you. But I remember just being to, at that point, just being to wanting to like listen to self-help audios. Like I was putting audios on, it wasn't working. It's too late. It's like people who need capital and they're desperate to get it. By the moment you desperately need it, it's probably too late. So capital is better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. Same thing for personal development. It's better to do the personal growth now when you don't need it than when you need it. When you need it, it's too late, bro. You're not gonna get it in a day or two. It will not happen. You need to have done it for a while. And I remember me just jumping into those audios and trying to listen to Eric Thomas and motivation. I was like, fuck, there's no motivation that's gonna change this thing. The only thing that's really gonna change it is I need to make money. I need to get out of this one, right? So I spoke to one of my friends in Miami. They had a big opportunity going on, big trading algorithm or something like that, where they were giving X amount of returns monthly, and you just need to put capital. You need capital to put into it. So I was like, I'm already heavily in debt. I'm making every 10 G's a month. How do I find more capital? But man, when you're in that situation, you get pretty creative. And from the other side of Thailand, from the other side of the world in Thailand, I managed a way to get access to capital through loans with the banks. This is before I started setting up this business. So it also led into making this business, I'm guessing. And I was like, fuck, like my friends are in the States right now. They didn't know this was possible to be done. They needed the capital as well, and they didn't do it. I did it from Thailand. Imagine if I go back to the States. So I got in contact with my friend here. I was like, look, I just get access to 50K. I think I know how to get like another 100K probably. I just need to go to the States because I have papers for the business that I need to get from the house, the geolocation for the banks. They need to see that I'm in the States. So I booked a flight back with the little money that I had left and some points. I was like, bro, I'm leaving. I'm not staying here for 6 months. It was already 2 months. I get back to the States. I had already money working for me, so I was making a little bit of money now. I got back here and I felt like another 100K. I was like, yeah, I know how to move the banks. Like I'll find capital. And then it started clicking, right? Since I was in Thailand actually. Like I know how to find money. Let's sell this as a product. Right? So I closed my first high ticket client in Thailand. That's pretty crazy. 2,500 up front. Like 2,500 for me was whoa. I was jumping. I remember one of my earpods got lost. I was jumping across the living room.
Wow.
So that happened in Thailand. Then I got back to the States, and that was my big breakthrough. I went from negative 10 G's a month to now my first 25K a month, first 40K a month, first 50, 75, 100.
That's in profit.
That's profits. And we're here today.
Wow. Powerful.
Yeah, pretty crazy.
I had a podcast last week, and I mean, very successful guy.
It's the first time I speak about all that, by the way. So you have like the best content here.
Thank you very much for sharing
those
that.
details. I mean, you asked for it. It's kudos to you.
Thank you for sharing that. It means a lot. I know how difficult it has to be to share that with us. I had a very successful guy on the podcast last week, and I mean, he has many stores. And he mentioned something that kind of made me think. He said, there's a lot of, I mean, multi-billion-dollar companies, huge companies, that they go to zero. Like they lose it all, bankruptcy. And in this country, at least, it doesn't matter how big you get, you can't fall asleep on the business. You always have to manage a way to keep it growing. And I guess you went to zero and negative twice. What are some of those mistakes you think you learned along the way? Because, I mean, to go to zero and negative, there's some mistakes that must happen. What are some mistakes you think are major for anyone that's watching this? I guess just general mistakes.
Not growing, staying comfortable. That's the biggest mistake you ever make. Like you start making money and you just lay back. oh, I'm making money now. You relax. You think things are just gonna be like that forever, and it's not like that because a business, life, relationship is so cyclical, right? So everything goes through ups and downs, and if you just lay back when everything is good,
Hmm.
when time comes that it's gonna go down, you're gonna really suffer, which is what happened to me. I was making money here and there with the stores, with different businesses, just lay back, and then when
Hmm.
everything crashes, like fuck, wait, how do I get up now and start back up, right? Because you get out of the game, right? So it's easier for you if you always stay on top of your game. Because when things go rough, you're still in your game, so you're still running. But if you get out of the race and then things get bad, and you have to now step right into the race again and start from there. That was what happened to me. Luckily enough, I was able to like jump back in and start again and build everything up. But the biggest mistake is definitely getting comfortable.
Hmm.
Like nothing is getting done there. Like if right now, let's say that I don't know, we hire another 4 salespeople and another 2 people for fulfillment, and now the business is running by itself, and I'm just like not doing anything, just sitting down at my house. It's gonna get to the point where something's gonna happen in the business. Like to think that nothing's gonna happen, that's the biggest mistake that you ever make. Like something will happen. I'm getting ready. I know something's gonna happen. It's been too good, right? Something will happen. Either
Okay.
we're gonna get sued, or they're gonna steal the chairs. I don't know. They're gonna like bombard this place. Something will happen.
Hopefully
I'm
not.
waiting for it. Nah, it will happen. It's just how life works. It will. Most likely, I don't know. Maybe getting sued. I don't know, bro. People are just I don't know. So I'm getting ready for when something happens, but I'm in the game, right? If I'm just chilling at my house, something happens, I have to step like, yo, what happened? No, I'm already here. I know what happened. Let's fix it, right? So that's the biggest mistake you ever make. When you're making money, laying back and relaxing. You gotta be on top of your game. Like whenever like something's happening in the business, I'm here, and I'm trying to get out of it as like little by little.
Hmm.
But no matter if I even if I get out of it like 50% or 80%, like I'm still on top of the game of everything that's gonna be happening here.
In this point of the business that you're in right now, when was the last time you got comfortable? If you had to get real honest with us, that maybe, I mean, you were like, okay, like, do I really have to get out of bed and go to work and really push this business? When was the last time you were comfortable, or maybe your mind was telling you, hey, like maybe you don't have to go so hard in the business? When was the last time that happened?
The last time that happened, I think was before we started like actually scaling out. A month that it was just me. I closed like 7 clients myself.
When was
Uh,
that?
Early this year. I think it was February or January. Before we started like scaling out and like
Okay.
growing the team.
3 months ago.
Pretty much. So I closed like 7 clients myself, and 7 clients would probably pay us, I don't know, between like $50,000-$70,000 around there. So that was just me. I was like, that's pretty good, man, pretty solid. Like let me just relax, right?
Hmm.
And that was the last time, probably like 3 months ago. But that relax doesn't last for like forever,
Hmm.
because I fulfill my own clients as well. I used to. Now we hire a team and whatnot, but it's not like I can just relax. I still have to fulfill on what I'm selling the clients on. So it's not like I just close you and that's it. No, I have to work with you. I have to like make sure that your credit is good, set up the relationship with the banks, see some of the banks, go through applications. So comfortable. I haven't been like that since I don't know, like 4 years ago, where I was just like, let's go to the pool, let's relax, X, Y, and Z. Oh, when I moved to Brickell, uh, going back from Thailand, right? I was making money again, my biggest months. I got a little comfortable there too, to be honest with you. Like we were making my biggest month ever, living in Brickell. I had a pool in the 50th floor, had a restaurant next to the pool. It's private. I was meeting people who had like hedge funds and all type of businesses. I was like, it's alive, man. Let me get a tan here in the pool today. Let me go to the spot. We have a big spot in my building. They have a hammam, which is like a Turkish bath.
Hmm.
So we just go there, relax, enjoy the sauna. Had a private trainer. Yeah, let's train. So I got comfortable there.
Hmm.
I'm not gonna lie, but then you realize that no, you gotta get moving. And since we decided to scale secure funding, has been, I think I'm doing the most work I've ever done right now,
Hmm.
ever.
How does someone avoid being in their comfort zone, I guess?
Getting out of it, you gotta put yourself like purposely on difficult situations. It's not like you just like you run from it or you like try to avoid. Like, you gotta put yourself there.
Hmm.
Like I don't know, when I ran a marathon. I want to say it before COVID. I ran a huge marathon, Key West. I put myself there. it's not like it just happened, right? I purposely put myself there.
Mm.
Like if I sign up, if I buy the ticket, and I tell all my friends I'm doing it, like I would most likely do it. So I did that, and I ran the marathon. But it was purposely putting myself there and taking the first step. Like I told everybody I'm doing this, told myself I'm doing it, and I bought the ticket already.
Mm.
So you put yourself in that situations where you will figure it out. Now you got to do the training. Now you have to read the books or watch the videos on how to run a marathon, and you have to practice, and you have to go through everything you got to go through. The same thing works with the business, right? Like when my friend pushed me to finally log in the office, I said, yeah, that's a push. That's a decision. Now you gotta go through the process.
Yeah.
And the whole learning curves and what you gotta do here. But the only way to get out of your comfort zone is to purposely put yourself in the uncomfort zone. Pretty much.
Wow. That's good.
Yeah.
That's real good.
It's really good.
So I guess right now you're working on the business and you're working in the business because, I mean, you're meeting with clients on a day-to-day basis.
Correct.
How does that process look like? I mean, just getting clients, who's getting them on your calendar? How are you like having these meetings? How does your whole process work? From
Business-wise.
Business-wise.
From our perspective, from our side, right?
Correct. Like from the first point of contact, who calls the prospect? Who sets up the meetings? Like how does that whole process works here in your business? I mean, I guess in your particular scenario.
All right, so we do, just like Alex Ramosi says, right? It's not only ads. We also have people that are referrals or your close circle of friends. So we first go through the warm and hot audience, right? From the different sales partners that we have here in Secure Funding. And after that, we go into the cold leads, right?
Okay.
So right now I'm running ads on the daily. Every ad that I come through, if I don't take care of it myself, which I love doing, like every appointment that is set up automatically, by the way, I get in it myself. So they go through the ads, they book the appointment. That's all done like automatically.
Okay, so they go to like a landing page. That landing page has
Correct.
like a booking link.
They click on the ad and they ask you a few questions, pre-qualifying questions, and then at the end, schedule an appointment. They schedule an appointment with us. It gets right away sent to my CRM. They get a video of me right away saying thank you. Make sure that you're ready for our video call, whatever it is. So I get in those calls myself, right? And then whatever leads come through and then I book an appointment, then we have the sales floor as well calling those leads. Hey, you were interested in working with Secure Funding, XYZ, but it's all inside the CRM already.
Okay.
So that's for the cold leads mainly. So that's our pretty much the first part of our sales process. After that, we get in the call with the clients. Yeah. And maybe it takes a few calls to get in with the client. Maybe we can do a sell on the first call, which usually happens. But after that comes the fulfillment part.
Okay. So most of the, correct me if I'm wrong, right now you said most of the clients, you close them on the first meeting. Is that correct? Okay. And out of those meetings that you get from leads, from cold people going into your landing page, booking a meeting, how many people that actually book a meeting keep that meeting and actually show up to the meeting?
So I think show up rate is around 30 to 40%.
Okay.
Right, which industry standards around there, like around 40%. But there's definitely a lot of people who do not show up to the meetings, and then we have to be following up with them. And we're also always working on improving the automation systems. Yeah. So that we can get the most show up possible. Like as soon as they book a call, we send them more information, testimonials or business XYZ, trying to increase that show up rate. But that's definitely the most.
That's social proof.
Yeah, because there's a lot, correct. There's a lot of people that just book the meeting and they forget who you are. So you have to remind them. You have to get in contact with them. You got to give them a call. So it depends on how you want to manage your leads. But the more personal you get, the better. If you call them right away, a minute tomorrow with us, you're Secure Funding. Right, start speaking to them. So you're a real person.
Yeah, because I mean nowadays there's a lot of skepticism out there. People don't trust you. Oh yeah. A lot of people, I mean, doing shady things. So that makes sense. What do your ads look like?
Just like this. It's me, looking good, of course, and then I just let the business owner know what it is that we do. Okay. Hey, for a business owner, struggling to get capital for your business, my team and I can help you get access to 50 to 150K to 100K at 0% business capital in the next 2 to 4 weeks. So you can scale your current business or start a brand new one. Click the link below to see if you qualify in the next 60 seconds. Boom. Pretty much how it looks, is you asked. Wow. So it's short and sweet. What we do, the time frame, the type of money that we get you access to, click the link below. And that's where they ask the qualifying questions and all that.
That's gold right there. Gold.
Pretty much. I'm very open, man. Yeah. Anyone who wants to build this, go ahead and build it. And that you can try to. You're not going to do it like we do it, that's for sure. But if you want to follow the steps, go for it.
That's great. That's great. So how do you build trust with these clients aside from, giving them that social proof, clients that you've worked with?
You would have asked me this a couple months ago, and I wouldn't have known how to answer it. But we've grown so much since we moved out of here. We are growing the team that we went through that with so many people, so many clients. I don't know who you are. What should I pay you? Right? Because we charge up front. I don't work with nobody for free. Not even my sisters. You can come and ask me right now. Like, oh, you got to pay up front.
So the first meeting does not happen unless they pay?
No, correct? Of course. No, we get in minutes with the clients. Like, we're here to try to help out the most possible with the client. Like, even if I don't charge you, sometimes I give advice for people for free.
Okay, so it's like free. The first consultation is free?
Completely free.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't charge anything to get on a call with you.
Okay.
I wouldn't. Why would I? Right? You're not a client. Yeah, you're not working with us.
That makes sense.
So we get on the first consultation completely free. We don't charge anything for that. And then if we see that you're a good fit and we can actually help you out, then we charge you to become a client with us. Right? And a lot of people, when it comes time to become a client, they don't know who you are. That's when that skepticism comes in. But I don't know who you are. You're in Miami. You're pretty young. Where you guys located? Yeah, but here I see in your website, I don't see you, XYZ. So we learn with time. We learn how to, throughout the call, how to set that up so at the end of the call, it is not as, it doesn't sound as a skeptical, right?
Very important to have that system in place, right?
Very important. Very important. So since we're getting the call with them, we're first familiarizing the most possible. We get on a video call right away. Never just like a phone call. You gotta get on a video call. They gotta see your face.
Okay, so Zoom meeting.
So it's a lot less skeptical. Zoom meeting. That's step number one. In our main website, we got all our employees, all the business partners. Everybody's there. So you go to look. I'm here, part of secure funding. The secure funding, what they're doing, the testimonials, XYZ.
Very important.
Type my name online. You go right now online and Google Cristian De Paz. It's gonna show up my website, my Instagram. All right. Like, I'm real. Go scroll there. I've been posting since 2012 or something like that. Right? So it's a big part, but there's definitely, we have systems in place to make sure that the people in the other side feel as familiar as possible with us and they end up becoming a client. Because after you become a client, trust me, we know how to fulfill. But a lot of people don't get to that step. So we make sure that they get there. So let's see what we're all about.
And I guess also that pre-qualification part of the sales process is just so important, right? How long did it take you to find out all these processes? Because I'm sure this didn't happen all right, first day starting the business, I got all these systems in place. I know that's not the way it works.
Not at all.
How long did that take to really craft that process out, that sales process, that pre-qualification process? And was that all you, or did you get another set of eyes to look inside the business? How did that work?
Definitely not all me.
Who helped you?
Business partners, part of the team. I learned from everybody who comes on board. We got hosts in the room. I've learned things from him, things that he wants to do inside the share I am. They say, hey, this looks better here, man. I was like, fuck, that does look a lot better. Or you should say this like that. If it was me, I would do XYZ. And I just learned from everybody who's part of the team. I also have a business partner who's kind of a consultant. That's taught me a lot. And the salespeople, we learn a lot from them. Because they're getting into so many calls. They're like, oh, look, I think this may work better. Or I think if we do this at this time, we can actually close a client faster. Or I think if you implement this first, we can close more clients. So I learned from everybody. This definitely has been just me, not at all. Especially, I've just told you, I'm starting to really push the sales now. Before, it was just leveraging who I am and my personality. But now I'm actually using sales techniques. And a lot of those I learned from a lot of people in the team. And consultants, people from the outside that usually when you're in the outside and you look in, you can see a lot more. Right? So it's definitely has been just me. A lot of people that I learned from, a lot of the people in the team as well. I don't know, even from Joseph, I learned things from Joseph. Everybody I learned something from. And then I implement it into the business. I make it as personal as possible. I try to put my own touch to it. But we definitely implement things from everybody out there.
Okay, so let's say a part of that process is getting the lead. They run through the pre-qualification, they answer the questions, they put in maybe their phone number, their email. Let's say from the moment that you get that lead, let's say right now, 6:07 p.m. When does a person call that lead to try to schedule that meeting? Because if you don't have that first initial meeting, the odds of you closing that sale are minimal.
Right now.
So So you call them.
You gotta call them right now.
Same
As
minute.
soon as they come in, you gotta call them. I feel like whoever watches this, you're gonna have the blueprint to set up a funding business. So you're welcome. You're getting a lot of value here. But yeah, the sooner you contact the lead, the better.
So
Speed to lead,
607, they fill
call
out the
it.
lead this minute. You call them that minute.
Speed to lead is an actual term. Speed to lead. So the faster you call the lead, the better.
Was it always like that?
What do you mean?
Like what?
I just started running ads 5 months ago, so I'm learning about.
So
working
5 months
around
ago,
your
it was
leads.
like that.
No,
like you
not
got
at
the
all.
lead and
Not
you
at
called
all.
them.
You get used to it. As you get more leads, people are not showing up. People are not closing. What's going on? Oh, you gotta call them faster. Right? There's big industry. So if you don't call them fast enough, somebody else may call them, and you lose a client.
Makes a lot of sense.
Of course.
So
It's
I
a
want to
wild
get
jungle.
yeah, I want to get a little bit more into your business. Can you, let's say for someone,
I'll take you in as a mentee, as a client. Small fee.
Sounds good. Sounds good. So let's say I'm the business owner.
Okay.
And I'm one of your prospects, and I guess you want to help me out to get access to more capital.
Okay.
Because I mean that's what you're doing in simple terms. Let's say I have money in a bank account, my business account, my checking, savings account, whatever. Let's say I have $100,000, and I have a business. I want to actively grow that business, hire people, spend money on marketing, whatever, pay for rent. How do you explain the importance of really leveraging other people's money instead of like your own money? Explain that concept behind leveraging other people's monies to pretty much grow your business.
I see what you're saying, and we actually pitch it to most of our clients because most of our clients are business owners.
Okay.
And
So
the older crowd,
they already have a business.
they got savings, they got checking accounts for the business, they got money, right? So we pitch it in the way of, okay, save your hard-earned cash, right? You never want to put your own money at risk, especially not if you get the chance to put the bank's money at risk. Which at the end of the day, you're responsible for it, your business is responsible for it, but you can keep your hard-earned cash and leverage your cash, right, by depositing into maybe different checking accounts that we open or savings account. You deposit X amount of cash, you may get access to a bigger line of credit, right? Or you may build rapport with a different bank by depositing cash into that bank. So how about you leverage that cash to get access to more capital? If you have 100K, that's all you got. It's 100K. But if you leverage that 100K to get another 200, now you don't have 100, now you have 300. And if 100K can bring you an extra 100K return for the business, now with 300, you make an extra 300K, right? That's a bigger return than what you're going to make in the first place. It definitely helps you out scale. So you leverage your money to get access to the bank's money, OPMs, other people's money. And then you leverage fully the bank's money. And you leave your money there, like safe, right? Save your hard-earned cash. Use the bank's money. Put their money at risk, right? Make minimal payments to them. Leverage that money to grow and scale your business.
Okay.
So best way to pitch it is that you're actually getting access to twice more where you wanted to get access to before.
What are some of the risks that you pretty much put in your own table from doing this?
For my end,
Well, not for your end, for the client's end.
so if you run away with the money, you're responsible for it. Man, I got some stories. I've been doing this for quite a bit. I had a client who his plan is, I think he did it already. I'm not sure. I haven't speaking to him or her in a while, but the plan was to leave the country. He's gonna get access to XYZ, and I found out at the end of the process. I want to get access to XYZ, and I'll take it out. I'm gonna leave the country. Bankruptcy. So that's on you. I cannot prevent you from doing that, right?
Wow.
I'm just consulting you how to get access to capital. What you do with it after, I'm not liable for. It's in the contract, right? So if you want to run with the money, you don't want to pay the banks, that's on you, right? You're going to be liable for it. It's just if not everybody who takes money out and never pays the bank. Make sense?
That's crazy.
So yeah, it's you got to be responsible with your money. Like it's supposed to be money that you're leveraging to make you more money, not to go to the Gucci store and get some Gucci glasses or get some Louis Vuitton and some shit like that. You know, like you need to be spending that money to make more money for your business. If you want to use it for the wrong things, you're liable for it, right? You cannot just run with the bank's money. If not, everybody will do it. That'll be fun.
Yeah, fun, risky, a little bit of everything.
Correct.
So
but it's
how
not
many-
possible.
Yeah. How many people are in your team right now?
We're 8.
8 people.
8 people.
What are some of the things that you look in individuals to I guess join your team? What do you want inside of that person? Like what qualities, what skills?
They gotta be good with people. You gotta be genuine, good with people, have good intentions, like be genuine, a good person. I don't care if you're the best salesman out there, if you're the best. We're not bringing you on board unless you align with our values.
Hmm.
So unless you're aligned with our value and our vision, we're not gonna bring you on board because we're very tight, it's a very close circle. We know what we bring to the table. Everybody's here is like part of like our family, our little group is like a little mafia that we have here, right? So we part of it. You need to meet all our values. If you don't, then you're just not coming on board. Because sales, like we can teach you how to sell, right? And we're doing it with Jose. He's getting really good at it when he's never done sales like that before, but he aligns with our values. He's genuinely a good person. He has the hunger. He needs the money, and he's in for it. So let's teach him how to sell. So it's not just about having the sales skill. You need to align with our principles and our values.
Okay. So I know earlier when I asked you about the skills that someone needs to become successful, you said that it wasn't really sales. It was more like knowing people, like how they think, what they want. And I guess, like, let's say for someone that's watching this, how do you really master that skill? Like, what are some things that you need to know to really know about people and actually, I guess, not selling them, but helping them buy?
That's a good question, man. I think anyone has ever asked me that question. And now that I'm thinking about it, to learn the skill, let's say you're a very introvert person. You don't really care about people or whatnot. You don't want to talk to anyone, right? The first thing you need, like I said, you need a big enough why. Like you need a big reason why you want to do that. It's possible to do it like anything else, but if you're an introvert and you want to become an extrovert and really like learn about people, like what's the reason? Like find something is strong enough so you're willing to make that change. So that's the first thing, you need to be willing to make the change.
In your case, one of the reasons was your mother.
My mom, yeah. And also I've always been very extrovert, right? But one of my reasons to do another change in different things, it was my mom. Now, in this case, you're asking for someone that is introvert to want to be extrovert and want to learn how to like deal with people and learn more about people. So I think they need to find a reason big enough as of why. Either because if you don't, you're fucked. You cannot do things on your own. Like you're not gonna build a $1 million business on your own. You're not gonna build a beautiful family on your own. You're not gonna do a fundraiser or I don't know. You're not gonna have a party or a birthday party on your own. It's hard to be by yourself. So just that should be a really reason big enough to change. And after that, you gotta practice it. Like I don't know. Sure, there's YouTube videos how to be more extrovert. Like go speak to people, go to meetings, go to networking events, go crash a wedding, move to another country where nobody knows you, and you start speaking to people. You need to contact people to eat in another country. What are you gonna do? You're gonna go to your mom's house, not there. So go by yourself, leave somewhere, like meet other cultures. There's a bunch of things that you can do to become more extrovert. But you definitely want to become more extrovert. You have to make the decision. Like I understand that just by myself I won't get very far and get to it and get to talk to people.
If you had to rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10 on how good your people skills are, or your sales skills, whatever you want to call them, what would you rate them?
1,000.
1,000.
Yeah, from 1 to 10.
That's a pretty strong number.
Yeah, with people, that's my thing.
Okay. So I'm going to put you on the spot.
Go.
Sell me this pen.
Tira para acá.
I don't want to throw it.
Should we do it like the movie?
However you want to do it.
All right. So again, I wanna get to know first who you are.
So Christian, sell me that pen.
All right, brother. So first and first, what is it that you do? What are you up to these days?
I do capital funding, I guess. I help business owners find access to capital.
Are you not lying to us? Are you being fully transparent?
Fully transparent.
All right, perfect. And what are your aspirations on that industry?
I mean, I just want to have I guess I want to have a big sales team working for me, and I want to help as much business owners get access to capital.
Okay. And what's your goal? What do you see yourself in the next 5-10 years? What's the big picture here?
I guess Well, I guess I'll tell you what my goals are for this year, and then I'll tell you my long-term goals.
Okay, go for it.
This year, I want to do $1 million in profit for the business. In the next 5 years, I want to be able to do $10 million in profit for the business.
All right. And if you're coming to us here where we sell pens, it's because you need a product, right? Usually people that come to us because they're looking for a pen. Now, how would this pen help you achieve that goal that you have right now?
Well, right now, I guess I have a couple of pens, same brand and everything, but I just wanted to stop by, check some out. I didn't really come in looking for a specific one. I just saw that one. I liked it, but I don't know I don't know anything about it.
Do you use pens daily? When you close a deal, if you have people in the office, in the conference room, and they're about to sign a big contract, do you usually hand out a pen from your pocket and give it to them?
Yes, I do. I guess you could say I use it every day, and it's in my day-to-day. I give it to clients. Yes, that's correct.
I love that. And when you give it to them, you give it to them with confidence, right? You just take it out of your pocket. You know you have a beautiful pen in your pocket. Like you just don't have one of those Walgreens ink pens, right? You want to have a very beautiful pen, very beautiful presence that speak about who you are and who your business is as well. You want to have a pen that speaks with confidence, and when they grab it, they're like, shit, like I'm actually signing a big deal here, right? This is the pen for you to do that. And if you come today to us because you were looking for this specific pen, if not, you wouldn't have been on this call with us for the next 30 minutes, speaking to one of the representatives of myself, if you weren't thinking about getting this pen. So today, just for you, we usually do $20 for this pen. But today, just for you, we'll do $15, and I'll make sure that whatever you do with that pen on your first day, whatever contract you sign, I'm also going to give an extra pen to the first person who signs the contract for you so they can benefit and use this pen as well for their business, not just yours.
Well, I guess that's I'm going to have to think about it. That's a little bit out of my budget, but I'll think about it.
You know, a lot of my clients, they come to us, even though they need a pen, they also say that they got to think about it. And when they have to think about it, it's because they're really not sold on our product, right? So is it just the product that you're not sold on, or is it the price?
I guess it's a little bit about the price.
Okay. So is it the $15 that we're charging for this pen?
I guess you could, yeah, I guess you could say
Okay, it makes sense. It is a very pricey pen. I'm not going to lie, right? Like you can go to Walgreens and get a pen for $1. Now, the deals you're closing with this pen, are these like very good deals? Like you're making at least $5K, $10K per deal?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you want that customer of yours, so you just paid $5K, okay? If you want you generally want to feel the best possible once they close the deal. You want to make sure that they want to feel confident in the fact that they're closing the deal with the best firm out there, okay? You're not gonna give that customer a $1 pen to sign the deal. You want to give them a $15 or actually a $30 pen for them to sign the deal, which we have those as well. But to start you off, I think $15 is okay for the first pen that you get. And after that, if you like our pen, if you close deals with it, if your clients as well feel good signing those contracts, then we can upgrade you to our $30 pen. So how's this $15 pen right now for you?
Sure. I mean, let's do it. Let's do it.
All right, man. Let's do it. Let's lock it in. We'll send you the agreement and the contract.
Sounds good. That was really good.
All right, man. Let's go. I mean, yeah.
Really good.
Sending a pen. I've never done this, but who the fuck buys a pen?
Well, it's more than $15, but
Man, it's DocuSign, bro. I was gonna say it, it's joking around. It is a very beautiful pen, though.
thank you.
You always carry a pen? You always carry one?
Yeah, I try to all the time.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you that, but then you were kind of doing my paper. Like you were secure funding.
I wanted to.
Yeah, so yeah, I thought it was your business. So your business, yeah, you always carry a pen, but I've never carried a pen, so I'm not gonna picture that.
Everything is DocuSign nowadays. That was good though.
Thank you,
That was
bro.
really
Thank
good.
you.
I kind of put you on the spot.
I mean, to never sell a pen, yeah.
That was really good.
How the fuck you sell a pen, man? Who sells these things?
That was really good.
Goddamn, like, truly, who needs a pen? It's crazy.
That's true. Things have changed.
Things have changed a lot. Just you pulling that out of your pocket, that was pretty impressive.
Christian, what are the goals for secured funding in the next 5-10 years? Where do you see secured funding?
So one of our main goals is to franchise it. Either franchise it, white label in a way that there can be other locations, right? Or that people can come to us and they want to model our business model, right? Maybe use our name as well, kind of a franchise style. and then we do big ticket up front for the franchise, and then a small percentage at the end.
Okay.
Right. So that's like long-term goal as our bigger target. And now for the next, actually for June, our goal is to close 50 clients and to keep it like that or more, right, throughout the year. So 50 clients means that we're basically funding business about 5 million a month, pretty much. So that is a target because I did that by myself literally in the past year. So I want to do it now with a full team, right? If I by myself, I did 5 million a year funded, I can do that with a full team a month.
For sure.
So that's a short-term goal, right? 5 million a month, that's about 50 clients that we're working with. We make sure the office are nice as possible. And yeah, then we can start thinking about franchising, maybe we do like white labeling for people who want to use our name and our infrastructure to build a bigger business.
It's really good. I guess, okay, so let's say someone's watching this and they have a business, and the business that they're in right now, they have a lot of potential for growth. And yes, maybe they're able to make I don't know where that $5 million in funding leaves you in terms of revenue for the business, but let's say it's $1 million in profit. But they're in another industry, not in your industry. They do something else. And I guess it's very important sometimes when you start a business, let's say you're already a couple of years into the business. A lot of successful people have told me that it's very important not to have a plan B, to stick to a plan A, and I guess not think that the grass is greener on the other side, because where you are right now, there's businesses that maybe you don't think have the potential to earn as much as your business does, but they do. There are many ways to make money. So I guess, what would you tell someone that perhaps thinks that the grass is greener on the other side? What do you think about this?
So someone who has a business that maybe it's not as successful, but they look at my business like, man, I should be doing your business. Is that what you mean?
Yes. But they have the potential for growth in their business.
Oh, okay. So
same potential for growth.
It depends what do they want. Again, what is it really that they want to do? Is it grow their business, or they're looking for something else? But if it's just money and you have a business that has potential but not potential to make as much money as this business, I would tell you, come and do my business. Right? Like, literally go ahead and do it. Like, this business has the potential to make you, I don't know, like just at a very low scale, just you closing 1, 2, 3 clients, you can make 20, 30K a month from anywhere in the world. If your business can do that from anywhere in the world, it's a really good business. Now, if what you're doing right now is not able to do that, maybe you have a dry cleaning business and you're only making like 5 G's a month and you're here running back and forth, what do you think I'm going to tell you? You're in the wrong business. If you're just doing it for the money, come and build a funding business, an amazing business. The returns are amazing. The percentage that we make in profits are also really good because our overhead is just the office and the ads, right? Of course, employees, you got to pay commissions, X, Y, Z, but there is no machinery. It's not like a huge warehouse where we have a bunch of employees in fulfillment and we need products. And no, it's none of that. There's the internet, the rent, right? The ads, you want to be known. So if my business is better than yours and all you're doing is for the money, then I'll tell you, come do my business. Like, duplicate it, right? So it depends on what they want and how much money they're making.
Before we finish, I want to just thank you for going so deep into your life, I guess into what you've gone through as a person, as an entrepreneur, as a son. What you did with your mom is just really inspiring. The risk taking, being out of your comfort zone, everything that you said, I just loved it. I completely agree with it. And it's the first time I have someone on my podcast selling a pen or selling anything. So that was really cool. I know you had a little bit of time to really think about how to sell a pen just because we had an issue with the camera.
I really didn't think, man.
But that was really good, by the way.
I just went to my
you had
check some things.
You had a couple seconds to think and you did perfect.
Yeah, you just go with it. Like, whatever you think you need, you already have it. You just gotta get in the state and it'll just come out.
You really implemented what you said throughout the podcast about not really just spitting out benefits of the product and this and that, but really asking people questions that you're guiding people through the sale. Pretty much, you're helping them buy it. So that's very powerful. A lot of takeaways from this podcast that are worth gold. So thank you very much, Cristian. It was an honor having you on, and I hope we can do this again in the future.
Man, definitely. I want to say top podcast so far, right? My first podcast was pretty emotional because it was my first podcast ever. But content wise, everything was spoken about. Like you were super prepared. You got everything, like your notes and everything. I think it's one of my number one podcasts. And just grateful they gave me the opportunity. And they were back and forth for a while. I'm just grateful that you were able to make it. Very professional. And we'll definitely come back here and we can touch on the points that we've spoken about before.
For sure.
And you can fact check me there and see where it is. Yeah, sure. I want you to hold me accountable. Oh, are you there yet doing XYZ?
Yes, I will.
And I hope your audience finds some value. I'm sure they found a lot of value here, man.
A lot.
If you're a business owner, like you found a lot of value on this podcast.
If they didn't, they just weren't listening. So everything was straight up gold. So thank you very much. And I hope we can sit down in 5 years or maybe even less and really see what you've accomplished throughout the years. And I wish you the absolute best. I can tell you're very genuine, very real, very passionate about what you do, very driven. And I admire that a lot. So thank you, Cristian. And I wish you the absolute best. And anything you need, I'm here to help in any way.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. Same here. And I don't want to live before, of course, letting your people know like exactly what it is that we do and how we can help them. Because we're giving a lot of advice, but I actually want to make sure that if you do need the help, that you can get our help in the next 2 to 4 weeks, right? So basically what we do for your audience, I'm looking at you guys directly right now, is that we'll help you get access to anywhere between $50,000 to $200,000 at 0% interest rate, business capital, everything under your business. So you can scale your business, or you can start a brand new one, so you stop missing out on those deals that you cannot get to because you lack capital. We get you the capital that you're lacking in your business. It can be a brand new LLC. We'll help you out. And if you want to learn more from this podcast as well, from the clips that were done, you can go to my Instagram. You can go to YouTube. I'm sure we're going to have all the links there on the description, like they say. And make sure that you followed you if you're not already following, because it's been great. It has a lot of potential, and I'm sure it's going to be doing some big things. And hopefully next time we go to a huge-ass studio and you have a huge-ass podcast. You're ready with your consulting firm.
Thank you. It was truly an honor having you. Thank you.
Let's run, brother.